Hey guys, welcome back to my weekly videos. If you've never been here before, my name is Sarah and I make videos on faith-based content and self-development, and I'm really happy that you're here today. So for this video for today, this is going to be a quick message, but I think it's really important to remember. This is about comparison and social media, which I know is very cliche, and we all know not to compare ourselves to people on social media and their lives. But the reason I wanted to specifically share this is because I think that this is being done on a subconscious level. And so I just want to explain this just to bring some awareness to this area. About 90% of our thinking is in our subconscious mind. So we may not be fully aware of the thoughts that are coming to our mind, but we can feel the emotions. So when we think a thought, it triggers an emotion. And this is something that I really try to be aware of when I start to feel crappy after I've been on social media. Now, obviously this could apply to many different areas of our lives, but I'm just going to focus on social media for this one and comparing ourselves, because I think a lot of people need to hear this since most of us are on social media. So for an example, let's just say you're scrolling through Instagram, let's just say you get off of social media, and after that you're just feeling like really bad about yourself. What I attribute a lot of that to, it's not the answer, but let's just say, like, I'm just gonna say a bunch of examples. Let's just say we open up our phone, we're scrolling through social media, and let's just say all of us have some type of aspiration, most likely for our career, whether it's having our own business, or just a specific job, a position that we want, whatever it is. Most of us have some type of aspiration for a career. And let's just say we open up social media and we're following someone who has a successful business that we would like to have, or they have that position that we would like to have. And so the first thing we see on social media is this person who appears, whether they are or they aren't, it's irrelevant, but appears to be extremely successful. And subconsciously, so we can see that, and then subconsciously what we could be doing is comparing ourselves. Just, you know how fast thoughts happen, right? And it's subconscious, so we're thinking really quickly, this person's really successful, I don't have I'm not smart enough to open a business like that. I'm not talented enough. I don't have enough connections, or my business is failing, or this person has more clients than me, blah. Anyways, that goes right into our subconscious. Moving along, and then we see another person and they're physically very beautiful and in shape, and we see their body, and immediately we're like, oh my gosh, I don't look like that. I don't have the body type like that. I need to work out. I don't even have a gym membership right now. I feel disgusting about my body. And then we condemn ourselves, and that just goes into our subconscious. And then we're scrolling and we see someone who's married, and they look like they have the perfect relationship, and even though we know it's not perfect, but we see it, and we once again compare ourselves and think, I'm single, I'm never going to attract a husband or wife who would treat me like that. I would never attract a healthy relationship. I've been through so much heartbreak, or my relationship is failing, blah. And again, it goes right into our subconscious. These images, these visuals can go away, and we can think that we're not thinking about these things anymore. But what all of these images have done, a lot of the times, is it's gone into our subconscious, and now we are feeling like complete losers and crappy about ourselves in every single category of our lives. Yeah, it's not a good feeling, because it sets us up to feel extremely discouraged and feel like we don't even know where to start, because look at all of these people who are thriving and doing amazing in all these different areas of their lives, and here we are. And so what I try to do when I get off of social media, which again, I'm obviously not saying social media is a bad thing. It can be a bad thing for sure, and I think it's extremely damaging. However, we can choose to use it for good, and so that's what I'm trying to do with my platform, is to use it for good. However, I'm still susceptible to all the same images and the same comparison, and I do that all the time. I don't mean to do it, it just happens subconsciously. And then I end up in a state where I feel really discouraged about my life. And so I just wanted to bring that awareness, that if after you've gotten off of social media and you're feeling really low and you can't even pinpoint why, just to be aware of what you may have consumed. And what I like to do is, because we are taught in the Bible to take every thought captive, so what I like to do after that is to actually sit down, like whether I talk out loud, which I do that a lot, or writing it out, and kind of like dissecting like each thing that I have just taken in, of why it made me feel crappy about myself. Like, okay, yeah, I saw that image of that girl who looks like this, and I started to think about myself. And then what I have to do is once I bring the awareness of like, that's why I feel crappy about that area of my life, it brings some relief to know, okay, well, it's because I was comparing my career to that person, and I was feeling like they're more successful in their business than me. Oh, well, it's because I felt like, and kind of just naming each thing and being aware that that's why we've gotten to the mental state that we are in that exact moment. And then replacing it with the truth, which obviously does take work, but we just have to remember that, I've said this before, the worldly success, the success of the world, is not what God considers to be success. Beauty of the world is not what God considers to be beautiful. And we just have to remember that our walk is so individual, and it's not about what other people can see. It's not about how successful we look, how happy our marriage looks from an outside perspective, how good our bodies look because we show a certain angle. It's not about how the world perceives us and the worldly success. There's nothing wrong with those things, but it is far, far, far more important for us to be content in who we are and content in our relationship with God, as opposed to how other people view us. Because I just have to say, it is just too easy. It is too easy to create an illusion that our lives are perfect. It is far too easy. We all know the right angles, the right filter, the right things that we could put on our social media to make our lives just look so incredible. And so I'm not saying that people do this falsely, but it's way too easy to show our best. And we do that a lot of the times not even meaning to. The content that I share on my social media, obviously I don't post photos when I'm crying. We don't do that. So we don't mean to just put our best out there, but it's just something that naturally happens. So we have no idea what other people are going through. I can say for a fact that most of the people, well, every single person that we look up to is human. Every single person that we look up to struggles. And if you think about your own life and you think about how many days of the week are perfect days for you, or how many days of the week are really hard, most of the time life can be really, really mundane, and we're only going to post the stuff that is beautiful. And I know that's changing a little bit now on social media, but just keep in mind that any of the people that we're looking up to, we are really just seeing the highlight of their day, the highlight of their week. We have no idea what they're going through behind closed doors. I can say that for a fact. Most of the stuff that I go through, people would have no idea behind closed doors what I go through. I just don't put it out there on social media. And that's the same with so many people I know, where I'll know them personally, and their social media reflects a life that from that view is totally perfect. But then when you know them, you're like, wow, this is not a representation of your life. So I just wanted to share that the social media is not a representation of other people's lives, other people's business, other people's relationships, other people as mothers. And we really, really, really need to stop going on social media and allowing and collecting all of these things and allowing them to go into our subconscious and triggering all these emotions, feeling terrible about ourselves, and then going back to it. Something that I do a lot, and whether or not people think this is okay to do, I don't know, but I'm very, very, very aware of what I take in now. That's something that I just have to be aware of on my social media. So something I try not to do anymore is go on my Explore page at all. And if you do go on your Explore page and you're not happy with what you're seeing, you can click on the photos that you don't want to see anymore, and you can select see less of this or something like that. And eventually, when you continue to do that, you will customize your Explore page so that you won't see stuff like that you don't want to see. And also just muting accounts that you just it's not helping your mental health, that you just don't need to see. And another thing that's really important is being aware of our screen time. I've set on my settings on my phone to just allow myself to go on Instagram for 30 minutes a day. I do go over it sometimes for sure, but I still highly recommend to do that, to set a time to be on social media for. So whichever platform that is for you, just looking at your screen time, seeing how many hours you're on there a day or minutes, and then minimizing it to whatever you think is healthy for you. And I find that to be extremely helpful. And another thing that a lot of people do, and I have done this a little bit as well, is deleting the app so that you only go on it when you actually need it. And let's say you just download it after 6 p.m. and you go on there to answer your messages or to post and then get off of it essentially. So that's not going to be the answer for everyone. Some people struggle more or less with this, but for those people that are really struggling with this, I just wanted to share that with you, and just to remember that our value does not come from how we appear to other people. Because it's not real, and it's far more important to be content in our lives, in our relationships, as mothers, as parents, as business people, whatever it is. It's far more important to have real, sustainable, healthy relationships, healthy image of our body, mental health, all those things in real life, not what we're just taking a photo of and sharing. So if you like this video, then please share it with someone who you think would enjoy it. And if you haven't checked out my website yet, it's www.nowbloom.life. I offer one-on-one virtual coaching, so you can send me an email or book a time slot on my website, and I'd love to hear from you guys. So see you next week. Mwah.